Hey, what's up guys? So it's been quite a while since I've really taken the time to talk about training your left hand. So today I just want to dive into some different methods you can use to really take your left hand to the next level without ever getting bored from the practice feeling overly tedious. Really quick announcement guys before we jump into the video. The early bird waitlist for my new course, Jazz Piano Secrets, is now open, and getting into the course is going to be on a first come first serve basis. So if you're interested, make sure you're on that list and you will actually get an early link to register for the course. And on top of that, I'm actually releasing an exclusive video series to everybody on that list. So if you're interested, click the link below the description. All right guys, so getting into left hand technique, I've been getting a lot of questions lately about how to really build up your left hand. How do you get it to a point where it can keep up with your right hand? Most of us are right-handed, so we end up, of course, learning to improvise and focusing almost completely on our right hands. So today I just want to talk to you about some techniques that we can use to really beef up our left hand technique. All right guys, so tip number one, this is something I've been doing for years, but this is one of my favorite techniques. So literally, I will just sit down at the piano and I will just improvise for a couple minutes with my right hand. And when a lick strikes me, when there's a lick that I play that I'm like, you know, I like that one, I wish I could do that with my left hand, I stop and I try to repeat it in the left hand. So let's just do that for a second. And just for the sake of this video, let's maybe do a rhythm changes in B flat. Cool, okay, actually that arpeggio, I really like that arpeggio. I kind of wish I could do it with my left hand. So let me just see what happens if I just give it a shot. Okay. All right, so this is a perfect example of why this exercise is awesome. I need to figure out what is a good fingering for the left hand, because what you'll find is the fingerings that you use in your right hand to play licks often do not translate at all to your left hand. What you'll find is that a lot of your licks in your right hand that seem super ergonomic and easy to pull off do not translate well to your left hand, so they actually end up being really great challenges. So let's see if we can find a great fingering, and of course, fingering is a very personal thing, so I'm gonna find the best fingering that works with my hand. Honestly, I think that's the one for me, guys, so I'm actually doing kind of a crazy stretch here. I'm going from 5 to 4 here. So from my pinky to my fourth finger. So really, how this arpeggio is gonna work is I'm gonna do 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that pinky is really just a starting jump off spot, but if I really want it to be very strategic about it, I might actually start thumb. Probably though, if I'm being honest, I'm gonna use the pinky. So what you do is then you just figure out the right fingering for your left hand and take it slow, right? Make sure you can really do it. And if you guys wanna learn this arpeggio, it's really just F, B flat, D flat, E flat, and then it repeats. Or you could think of it as B flat, D flat, E flat, F. Right? All right, so next step is going to be actually to do these two hands together now. So we start slow and then we take it from there. Cool, so I could definitely get that smoother, but that is my process here. Okay, so now let's take a more chromatic lick from our right hand and see if we can figure that out for our left hand. So. One more time. All right, so how is this gonna work on our left hand? Let me do that slow. Cool, so I just figured that out, and I wanna show you guys a really interesting technique to practice here. So for getting down in the keyboard, this is an exercise I like to do. All right, so we're gonna take a C minor 6 chord, and then we're just gonna arpeggiate down like this. So we're gonna start on the 9, so D. We're gonna do 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then let's go to the 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. then we really want to slowly move up our speed. And that's going to be a huge thing with your left hand. First, developing good finger habits by practicing a lick that might be tricky, and then slowly getting it up to speed. Now, another approach you can take here is to actually literally just play with both hands at once. Just play in octaves, and then whenever you run into trouble with your left hand, stop, figure out how to do it. So let's try this out. Okay. All right, so that was a tricky one right there. So one fairly comfortable fingering for me is what I just did there. So it's 5, 4, 2, 1, 5, 4, 2, 1, and then I jump the 2 over. And if we're going down again, let's say we're going down into our minor 6 arpeggio, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Like that, back to our pattern. Now I actually want to look at that same arpeggio in a different key. That could be a little tricky. So for example, D flat. Okay, that's not very comfortable, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 approach. That's not working for me. So actually probably my favorite fingering here would be 5, 4, 2, 1, and then 5, 4, thumb on the F, 3, 1. So here's an arpeggio that I like to do in my right hand that I really had to figure out in my left hand as well, and this will be a good challenge for you guys. So in the key of D flat, we're doing 3, 5, 1, 9, 3, right? Now, how do we do it in the left hand? So that's not really very comfortable for me. It's a strange stretch for my fingers. May just be a strength issue, but I find that that's very awkward for me. So I need to come up with a different fingering here. Let's see. 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? And then if I want to finish here, I can just bring from my thumb my 3 and 2 fingers up just to reach those couple notes. Back to thumb. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's another really good one to practice, but you see, we have to really change the way we finger the left hand compared to the right, and it takes a bit of time to figure out the best ways of doing this. Now, actually, guys, if you do want to get a bit deeper into this stuff, I did release a really great series of exercises called 20 Exercises for an Unstoppable Left Hand. So be sure to check those out in the store. Now, one last tip I want to leave you guys with is the idea of doing patterns in your left hand. So these are really great for strengthening your fingers and building good fingering patterns. So here's one that's fairly easy in the right hand, for example. I say as I mess it up a bit, but you get the point. So in the left hand, it's a little bit trickier. Let's see. All right, so what's really making it trickier here? More than anything, my lack of strength in comparison to my right hand. So I've got a good fingering here. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's also the jump up and starting the pattern again. So this is a great way to strengthen your left hand. Take a pattern like this and start practicing it again. Start slow and then build up momentum, and this can also become a really interesting lick for you. And for me, I actually get more fatigued as I go up. So this is just one really cool sequential exercise or pattern that you guys can work on. But hopefully now you actually have the tools to create some of your own to really challenge your left hand. And one thing I always encourage is, if you're gonna come up with an exercise for your left hand, come up with one that sounds good to you. Come up with one that you might actually wanna use in improvisation. Then that way you're not just doing a boring exercise to strengthen your left hand, you're actually doing something that you can then apply to your improvisation. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope this gives you some really good ideas of how you can continue to strengthen your left hand and bring it up to speed with your right hand. As always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please consider clicking subscribe and the bell to turn on notifications so you don't miss any more videos just like this one. All right, guys, thanks, and I will see you next time.